The VA has a number that decides your heart rating, and almost no veteran finds out that number was a guess. Not a stress test, a guess. And that single guess can be the difference between a check for around $500 a month and one for over $1,400. I'm Travis Studdard, and I have represented enough veterans to know the VA is counting on you, never asking how that number got chosen. So today, I am going to show you what the number is, how the VA lowballs it, and how veterans force it back to the truth. Here's what the number actually is. The VA rates almost every heart condition on something called METs. That stands for metabolic equivalent of task, and all it really measures is how much exertion your heart can handle before you get symptoms like shortness of breath, chest tightness, or dizziness. The lower your METs, the worse your heart is working, and the higher your rating. It is a sliding scale, and every single step on it is worth real money. Let me show you the ladder, because this is where the dollars live. If your heart gives out at 3 METs or less, that is a 100% rating. And at current rates, a single veteran gets about $3,900 a month. From 3 to 5 METs is 60%, or around $1,435. From 5 to 7 METs is 30%, about $550. Above 7 METs is 10%, closer to $180. Now look at the jump from 30 to 60%. That is nearly $900 a month, more than $10,000 a year, and it can turn on where one number lands. So here's the dirty secret. That METs number, the one your whole rating depends on, is very often not measured at all. On the VA heart exam, the examiner is allowed to estimate your METs just by talking to you. They can write down that you can probably handle 7 METs based on a short conversation about your daily activities. No treadmill, no stress test, just an estimate. And if that estimate comes in a little too high, it quietly drops you into a lower bracket worth hundreds of dollars less every month. The VA rates the number in your file, even when the number is only a guess. Hold on to that because it is the key to everything else. It almost got worse this year. Earlier in 2026, the VA pushed out a new rule that said it could rate you based on how well your function was while you were on medication. In plain terms, if your pills were controlling your heart, the VA wanted to use that as a reason to pay you less. Veterans and veterans groups came down on it so hard that the VA pulled the rule in under 2 weeks, and a court said the same thing. In a case called Ingram versus Collins, the government tried to defend rating veterans on their medicated function, then dropped its appeal, and the ruling that protects you became settled law. So understand where you stand today. The VA cannot lower your heart rating just because your medication is working. Though here's the move the VA is hoping you never make. Pull your rating decision and find the METs number they used. Then ask one question. Was it measured or was it estimated? If your rating rests on an interview-based guess and your real life tells a harder story, you do not have to accept it. You can get an actual measured METs from a stress test or a detailed evaluation from your own cardiologist that documents what your heart really does on your worst day. That one corrected number can move you a full rating tier. This is the whole secret. Your heart rating is not carved in stone. It is built on a number. That number is often just a guess, and it is a guess you are allowed to correct. The VA rates whatever is in the file. So, put the truth in the file. Before you go, one more thing worth knowing. A lot of heart conditions did not start on their own. If yours traces back to something that service caused, like PTSD or the medications that came with it, there is a second claim most veterans miss completely, and I walked through it in my video on how veterans win secondary service connection. It is right here. Watch that next, and you will see how one condition can lift the rating on another. And if the VA has already lowballed your heart, that is exactly what my office does for veterans, with no cost up front. Subscribe so the VA's next quiet move is not the one that catches you.